Okay, I'm going to go over how to get started on the digital collage. You should have already watched the video Understanding Photoshop so you understand how the program actually works. There's a digital collage worksheet here. There's hard copies in the classroom. You can also find this in Schoology if you want in the purple week 7 folder. So I'm going to basically go through this first part and get you started on your collage. We are not going to finish them today, and there's a lot more that I'm going to show you. This is just the getting started. Okay, so you need to have Photoshop opened. Once you have that open, we're going to create a new work. So you can hit this Create New button, and you are going to, up at the top, you're going to go to Print, and you're going to choose the one that says Letter. It's the 8.5 by 11 size print. So you're going to click that. The bottom right hand side down here, it says Create. You're going to get a blank white canvas. Okay, so on the side with my toolbar here, what we want to do is create some kind of background. You have a choice for your background. You can use a photograph that you found on Unsplash. You can color this with a solid color. You can color it with a gradient. I'm going to show you a couple right now. So with this video, you might need to pause it every once in a while or re-watch a section if you don't understand. Okay? So to color this with a solid color, this is the color picker in your toolbar here. This is the pink is my foreground color and the white is my background color. So if you want to change this to a different color, you'll want to do that by clicking on it, and it brings up the color picker for the foreground color. So I've switched it to a green. Then in your toolbar, there's the gradient tool. So it's a gradual blend between colors. If you click and hold down on the gradient tool, you can choose the paint bucket. And then just click once, it'll drop the color right there in your background. If you want a gradient instead of just a solid color, go back, choose the gradient tool. Up in the top, just below the menu bar here, the second menu bar, there's different choices for gradients. You can choose one that it will work for your theme. Okay, I'm going to just choose this one randomly. And basically all you do is click and drag and it will place a gradient. There's different styles of gradients. If you click on the different buttons at the top, you can see the different styles. This is like Starburst, let's see. Okay, so maybe I choose something like that. Alright, so that's my background. If I want for color. If you want a background that has a photograph, you're going to go to File, Place Embedded, and then you're going to select a background photo from one of the ones that you've already selected, or you can get a new one from Unsplash. So I'm already in OneDrive in my digital collage folder, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to take this textured background that I have here, and I'm going to use that. And once you do the place embedded, you can change the size. So I can change the size of this so it fits how I want it. Okay. Once you're satisfied, hit the Enter key, and it is right there on your background. You won't be able to edit this until you do something called rasterizing. So if you want to change this background photo or any of the photos that you bring in order to work on them, you have to go over to your layers palette and you're going to right click and you go to the rasterize image, and then it changes it so it's pixels so that you can actually edit it. So like from here, if I wanted to edit this and I wanted to add a filter to this, let's say. So these are the filters. This is the filter gallery, so you can see some different ones. You can kind of change how this photo looks if that's something you're interested in doing. I'm going to try this one. Ooh, that's funky. I'm going to leave that just because. So I'm going to say OK. It's applying the chalk and pastel. So that's my background. So now I want to start to import and put some of the photographs that I selected that will kind of go with my theme. So you do the same thing. File, Place Embedded, pick a photo that goes with your theme. So I've had a couple different things going on here, but I'm going to work with this COVID one. So it placed the image that I got. This is a medical illustration. I can make this smaller, I can move this, I can rotate this however I want. Now obviously I don't want to leave that white rectangle because that's really hideous. So once you have it where you want it or the size you want it, hit enter. Okay, and now I need to rasterize this image, so I'm going to right click on the layer, go to rasterize image, and now what I can do is I can actually erase this background because I don't want this white part because it's like bad looking. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can use the magic wand tool. You click on that, it will select everything that's the same color pixel around it. So once you do that, you hit the backspace and it will delete it. Another way to do this, I'm undoing by hitting Control Z. Another way to do this is to use the eraser. So there's an eraser, there's a background eraser, and there's the magic eraser tool. Choose the magic eraser, click once on the background, see how it got rid of it. It's the kind of same thing as the magic wand, except that you don't have to hit the backspace. You can also use the regular eraser, and you can use your stylus with that. Once you click on the regular eraser, there's different sizes up here, so you can pick a size that makes sense. I would suggest when you're using the eraser that you zoom in so that you can really see what it is that you're working on, okay? And every time you're using a tool, you're double checking that you're on the right layer. So I'm on the COVID medical illustration, little coronavirus thing. All right, I'm going to pull in another image so I can show you. So I'm going to go to place embedded. Choose this hand sanitizer one, pull this one in. Now this image is a little bit more complicated, so it's going to take a little bit more work to erase the background. I will not be finishing this right now, but I'm just going to show you a little bit more. So I made it a little bit smaller. I'm going to move it over to the side here and then hit enter, and then I'm going to start to erase. So if I go to the magic eraser, oops, see how it has that circle with a line through it? It means I didn't rasterize the image. So rasterize the layer, then I can use the magic eraser. So what's gonna, oh, it looks good so far. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. Okay, sometimes you need to use the regular eraser. And you can use your stylus. And change the size of this. Use your stylus and you can erase closer to the edges so you don't erase something that you don't want to. You can also use your stylus to draw, so if there's something that you want to add that's drawn, you can do that, and we'll talk more about that next time, but I just want you to get started on finding your background and maybe placing a photo in here. So you can repeat things, like I'll probably repeat this little COVID and I'll show you how to do that next time. Obviously I need to keep working on erasing this background. I didn't finish. What was the last thing I want to tell you? Oh, saving. So when you want to save, it's not a web-based program, so it's not going to auto-save for you. So you're going to go to File, Save As. You want to say Save on your computer. You're going to give it a name. And then save it where you save things. I'm saving into this digital collage art. So I'm going to say Save. You're going to say OK on maximize capacity. And you are good. And then you can close it, and the next time you can open it back up. I'd like you to at least get a background in that makes sense. If you still need more photos, you're going to go back to Unsplash. And find something that works here for a background. You can also search textures or patterns, which is kind of cool. That's where I got that texture one, because I thought that would be kind of an interesting background to start. Okay, so good luck, and that is it.